Imagine pouring your heart into this, like, incredibly well-researched 2,000-word article, right? You hit publish and wait.
Right. You're just waiting for that traffic to roll in.
Exactly. But then the search engine crawler arrives, it reads the entire thing, extracts the single most valuable sentence, and gives that sentence directly to your potential customer.
And they never actually visit your website.
Yeah, they never visit. And as of August 7th, 2026, that precise scenario is dictating the reality of the internet.
It is a fundamental rewiring of how human beings find information. I mean,
Yeah.
for decades, the transaction was simple,
You put in a query, you get 10 blue links.
Exactly. You gave the engine a query, it gave you a menu. It was entirely up to you to do the legwork of clicking, reading, and synthesizing all that info.
But now the search engine just does the synthesizing for you.
Right, which means for the people, creators, and brands whose livelihoods literally depend on being found in that massive digital library, the rules of the game have totally evaporated.
And that is exactly why we are dedicating this deep dive to the SEO Daily Technology Report for August 7, 2026.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover in this one.
There really is. Our mission here is to shortcut your understanding of this new landscape. We are moving way past traditional search into this highly fragmented AI-generated reality, and we need to figure out how content actually survives and gets seen.
But the old playbook just doesn't work anymore.
It really doesn't. Okay, let's unpack this because the data surrounding Google AI overviews in this report is staggering.
It is. They have moved completely out of the experimental phase. The August 2026 data shows that AI overviews are now a permanent fixture.
And the volume is crazy, right?
Oh, yeah. They're appearing on an estimated 67% of all informational queries.
I mean, 2/3 of informational searches now have an AI-generated answer sitting at the very top of the page.
And it is not just informational. We are seeing them on 42% of commercial queries as well.
Wow, 42%. So even when people are looking to buy.
Right. And the immediate mechanical consequence of this is the rapid acceleration of the zero-click search.
Because the friction of finding the answer is just gone.
Exactly. Traditional organic click-through rates are heavily depressed. For the entire history of SEO, the ultimate finish line was, ranking #1 on Google.
Well, ranking #1 simply isn't the finish line anymore.
It's really not.
Being cited inside the AI-generated answer is the new objective. Because if the AI doesn't pull your info into its summary, you essentially do not exist to that user.
Even if your traditional blue link is sitting just a few pixels below that overview box?
Yeah, you're invisible. Creators are basically being forced to build content for a dual audience now. There's the human reader they actually want to reach, and then there's the AI model that will inevitably gatekeep that information.
It's a really tough balance to strike.
It's like baking a beautiful, multi-tiered, intricate cake, but then realizing the judges are only going to eat the recipe card.
That is a great way to put it, actually.
Right. You put all this effort into the brand voice, the visual presentation, the user experience of the actual web page, but the AI just ruthlessly scrapes out the raw data facts to serve up to the searcher.
It strips away all the humanity.
Which honestly, it makes me want to push back on this entire premise.
Oh.
How so?
Well, if no one is clicking through to the actual website because the AI overview just feeds them the answer, why should brands even bother creating narrative content for humans anymore?
I hear that a lot, yeah.
I mean, why not just publish raw data feeds, CSV files, and bulleted lists, and just call it a day?
What's fascinating here is that the data from the August 7 report shows something entirely counterintuitive to that.
Okay, what does it show?
Being cited in these AI overviews still yields massive quantifiable brand exposure. The core currency of the internet has just shifted. It's moving away from pure traffic clicks and toward mindshare.
Mindshare instead of foot traffic.
Exactly. Think about the psychology of the searcher for a second.
If a user asks a really complex question about, say, enterprise software or personal finance, and the Google AI overview explicitly says, according to your brand, the best approach is this specific strategy.
The user sees your name attached to the definitive answer.
Right. They might not click your link at that exact moment. However, your brand has just been established as the definitive, objective authority by the AI itself.
That builds an immense, almost subconscious level of trust.
Huge trust. When that same user is eventually ready to make a significant purchase or requires a really deep, specialized consultation, they bypass the search engine entirely.
They just go directly to the brand the AI kept citing as the expert.
Spot on. The attribution itself functions as a digital billboard.
So you aren't getting the immediate click, but you own the highway sign in the user's mind.
That's the mind share. But Because Google's AI is swallowing so many of those direct clicks, brands are realizing they just cannot afford to put all their resources into optimizing solely for Google anymore.
And that realization is driving this massive adoption of GEO, right? Generative Engine Optimization.
Yeah, GEO. The report explicitly notes that GEO has transitioned from a fringe experimental idea into absolute table stakes for digital survival.
And the numbers back that up. Early adopters who shifted their strategy toward GEO are seeing 15 to 25% increases in AI-driven discovery.
A 25% bump in visibility is massive in this landscape.
It really is. But the tactics to get there are completely alien compared to traditional SEO.
Oh, completely different.
It's moving away from keyword density and much more toward topic targeting and highly succinct data structures. Like, the most interesting tactical shift highlighted in the sources is the rapid rise of the LMS.txt standard.
The lms.txt file is crucial to understand if you want to participate in the modern web.
Can you break that down for people who might just be used to traditional site mapping?
Sure. Historically, websites used a file called robots.txt, right? That file acted like a bouncer at a nightclub. It told search engine crawlers which pages they were allowed to index and which ones were strictly off limits.
Okay, so how is lms.txt different?
It's entirely different. It acts as a dedicated VIP menu for large language model crawlers.
So instead of just telling the crawler where not to go, you are actively guiding it.
Precisely. You place this markdown file on your server, and it provides AI crawlers with a streamlined text-only directory of your priority content.
So it points to your most authoritative facts and core research.
Exactly. And it's completely stripped of web design code, pop-ups, and formatting fluff. You are literally handing the AI the exact recipe card it wants in its native language.
And according to the data for August 7, 2026, adoption of LMMs.txt has already passed 12% among major websites.
It's catching on really fast.
It is. What really caught my eye, though, is that Google's own developer documentation is now issuing explicit warnings against what they call AEO and GEO hacks.
Yeah, they are actively monitoring how people manipulate this.
Google has to protect the integrity of its AI answers, I guess.
Of course, if digital marketers figure out how to mathematically force their way into the AI overview using, low-quality content structured purely for machines, the entire trust model breaks down.
Users will just stop trusting the overviews entirely?
Right. But the real reason GEO is so incredibly complex isn't just Google's countermeasures. It's that the AI search landscape is now highly fragmented.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because we are officially in the era of multi-engine SEO.
Multi-engine is the perfect way to describe it.
The sources break down the specific tastes and preferences of the different AI engines, and they all want radically different things.
Because their underlying training algorithms and architectures prioritize different signals.
Let's look at Perplexity, for example, which has obviously become a major player in the AI search space.
Right. Perplexity heavily favors recency and strict attribution.
It functions almost like an academic researcher, doesn't it?
It really does. It wants the absolute latest data, and it wants that data firmly supported by clear, identifiable sources.
So Perplexity wants the freshly published, fully footnoted research paper. How does that compare to ChatGPT's search integration?
ChatGPT rewards conversational depth. Because of how it was trained on human dialogue, it looks for a natural flow of information, narrative context, and demonstrated expertise.
It wants to synthesize a story for the user, not just hand over data points.
Exactly. And then you have Claude. Claude's architecture emphasizes nuanced, highly authoritative content.
So Claude is looking for depth.
It looks for complex arguments that explain multiple angles of a topic without rushing to a simplistic conclusion.
So if you are running a business listening to this, you might be panicking right now.
I wouldn't blame you.
I mean, how on earth does a single creator optimize a piece of content to be conversational for ChatGPT, completely recent and footnoted for Perplexity, and highly nuanced for Claude, all at the exact same time?
It sounds mathematically impossible for a human brain to juggle all those parameters.
Because it is.
Yeah, if you attempt to manage that manually, it is impossible. You cannot optimize blindly across those variables.
So what's the solution?
Well, that fragmentation is exactly why the software industry has had to entirely rebuild how SEO dashboards work. You can no longer just look at where you rank on Google.
Right. The new metric is AI citation rate.
Exactly. AI citation rate.
But how does software even track an AI citation rate across these private ecosystems? They don't just hand over that data.
We are seeing a massive evolution in tracking platforms to solve this. tools like SE Rankings AI Overview Tracker or dedicated systems like Trackings.ai.
What are they actually doing under the hood?
They are essentially reverse engineering the visibility. They run thousands of automated prompts across ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google AI overviews to see how often your brand is mentioned in the responses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So a modern SEO dashboard in August 2026 places your AI citation rate directly adjacent to your traditional ranking position.
So you might be ranking number 4 in Google's traditional blue links, but if you are cited in 80% of ChatGPT's answers for that specific topic, you need to know that.
Because that is where the actual mind share is being won.
Which perfectly explains the absolute arms race happening in the software stack right now.
It is moving incredibly fast.
Because managing multi-engine visibility, analyzing LLMs.txt files, and tracking AI citations across dozens of topics, I mean, no marketing team has the hours in the day for that.
The tool stack has evolved at a blistering pace to compensate. Take Semrush One, for example.
Yeah, the report highlights that one specifically.
It is no longer just a keyword research tool. It is transformed into a comprehensive AI command center.
And its Copilot feature doesn't just display data anymore, right?
Right. It uses generative AI to interpret the citation data, suggest the tactical actions you need to take, and completely automate client reporting across Google, ChatGPT, and Perplexity.
Ahrefs is fighting back hard on this front, too. They just launched Brand Radar, which is built specifically for answer engine optimization.
Tracking those off-site AI brand mentions we just discussed.
Exactly. But the part that fascinates me is their AI content helper.
Oh, that feature is wild.
It performs real-time semantic analysis as you type. And just to break that down for everyone, semantic analysis doesn't mean it's counting how many times you use a keyword.
No, not at all.
It's mathematically mapping the relationship between the concepts in your text to ensure you are comprehensively answering the user's underlying intent. And they are doing all of this for a $99 a month light plan.
It's democratizing that high-level analysis.
Yeah.
You also have platforms like Surfer SEO, which obviously built its reputation on granular on-page optimization.
Right.
They are introducing direct AI mention tracking. They're closing the feedback loop entirely.
So as you optimize a page in Surfer, you receive direct data on whether your changes are actually resulting in more AI citations out in the wild.
Exactly. You see the impact immediately.
But even with Semrush, Ahrefs, and Surfer becoming these incredibly sophisticated command centers, they still require a human being to sit at a keyboard, interpret the software suggestions, and manually push the update to the website.
Which leads us to the most defining and honestly slightly terrifying trend of August 2026.
Agentic SEO.
Agentic SEO.
Yeah.
This is the frontier. We are talking about semi-autonomous software agents acting on your behalf.
The report highlights platforms like AirTop, AirOps, and Search Atlas.
Yes. And these systems do not just give you a dashboard and wait for you to click a button.
Right, they act. The mechanism here is wild. Let's say your top-performing article starts losing visibility and Perplexity because your data is getting old.
Which happens fast these days.
So fast. An agentic SEO tool detects that drop, autonomously researches the updated data, rewrites the necessary paragraphs to include the new facts, and uses your content management system's API to publish the update.
Without a human ever touching a keyboard.
It's not like using cruise control on the highway. It is like having a microscopic pit crew that changes your tires, tunes the engine, and repaints the car while you are driving at 100 miles an hour.
That's a terrifying visual, but very accurate.
If an agent like AirTop can detect content decay, rewrite the content, and push it live, are human SEO professionals just automating themselves into obsolescence?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this is not about replacing human strategy.
Okay.
It is a fundamental shift from reactive analysis to proactive optimization at scale.
Because the scale is just too big now.
Consider the sheer volume of data we just laid out. Optimizing for Google's specific thresholds, catering to Perplexity's need for recency, maintaining Claude's nuance, formatting LLMs.txt files, and monitoring brand mentions across the entire web.
Yeah, a human team cannot process that data and execute changes in real time.
The landscape is shifting hourly. A human is a bottleneck.
Exactly.
The human's job is no longer to manually tweak title tags or rewrite meta descriptions.
Thank goodness.
Right. The human's job is pure strategy now. It is setting the guardrails for the agentic AI.
So you're basically the manager of these agents.
Precisely. You instruct the agent, Here's our brand voice, here are our target entity relationships, here are the compliance rules you cannot break. Go ensure we maintain 80% citation dominance in this specific topic cluster.
And the agent executes the thousands of micro adjustments required to make that happen.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean? We
Mhm.
have AI search engines reading and summarizing the web. We have AI agents autonomously writing, updating, and optimizing the content for those exact engines.
It sounds like an entirely closed loop of machines just talking to machines optimizing for each other.
It really does. But the most beautiful irony buried in this entire report is the answer to how you actually survive this AI apocalypse.
You survive by being undeniably, authentically human.
Because if an AI can generate perfect semantic content and an agent can optimize it perfectly in real time, how does a search engine decide what actually deserves to be cited?
They have to look for the signals that are incredibly difficult or just too expensive for a bot to fake.
And that brings us to EEAT: experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness.
For a long time, EET principles were treated as like soft guidelines.
They were nice to have.
Right. A clever marketer could still outrank a genuine expert using aggressive technical tricks and sheer volume of content. But in August 2026, EEAT are hard, algorithmic ranking determinants.
Especially for YMYL topics, your money or your life, anything involving finance, health, legal advice, or safety.
The AI overviews are incredibly aggressive about rewarding established, real-world brand signals.
Because Google's model cannot afford the liability of hallucinating a bad medical dosage or disastrous financial advice.
The risk is way too high. So it anchors its summaries to real-world trust. It will routinely cite a well-known industry authority over a lesser-known blog, even if that blog's page is technically structured better.
Which means SEO has effectively merged with traditional PR. But what does that actually look like to a crawler? It's not just putting an author bio on your page anymore, is it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
The sources emphasize that investment in authentic community engagement is mandatory.
What does the AI look for to prove that?
It looks to see if your brand is being organically discussed by aged, high-reputation accounts in niche Reddit threads. It looks to see if genuine industry leaders are linking to your original research on LinkedIn.
Oh, I see.
It looks for podcast appearances, digital PR mentions, and real-world conference speaking gigs.
So if you fail to build off-site authority, meaning real humans discussing your expertise in unscripted environments, you will simply vanish from AI-generated search results.
The machine needs proof that you exist in the physical world.
But there is a technical translation required here. The technical SEO hasn't vanished. It has evolved to support this human element.
That's right.
Like, the report notes that Screaming Frog, the classic crawling software, is now using AI to automatically prioritize technical site issues based on their potential traffic and revenue impact.
Which is a huge time saver.
Massive. Rather than dumping a list of 10,000 broken links on your desk, it tells you which specific 3 links are currently blocking the AI crawler from seeing your best content.
There's also Indexly, which is tackling the massive, discovered, not currently indexed bottleneck.
Because millions of pages are being crawled by search engines but completely ignored, right?
Exactly, because the AI deems them redundant. Indexly forces the indexing issue faster than manual submissions.
But the true bridge connecting messy human authenticity to machine logic is entity SEO and structured data.
This raises an important question. How exactly does a large language model, which is at its core just an advanced mathematical prediction engine, understand a highly subjective human concept like trust or expertise?
Yeah, how does it know I am a legitimate industry expert and not just an AirOps agent generating infinite text?
It relies entirely on clear entity definitions. To an AI, the web is a knowledge graph made of nodes and connecting lines.
It doesn't read English the way we do.
No, it reads mathematical relationships. Structured data, specifically written in JSON-LD format, is code you embed in your website to explicitly define what things are.
It's like putting incredibly specific Braille labels on filing cabinet folders for a librarian who can't see the colors of the folders.
That is a perfect way to visualize it. You use schema markup to tell the AI, this string of text is not just a name, it is a person entity.
Yeah.
This person is the CEO of this organization entity. This organization published this specific original research.
You are translating the messy reality of your human reputation into the clean, rigid code that the machine requires.
Entity SEO is about structuring your content around those well-defined concepts, people, places, organizations, and mapping how they relate.
So you remove the ambiguity.
Exactly. When you map those relationships clearly with JSON-LD, you remove the guesswork for the AI. You give it the mathematical confidence it needs to cite you.
You aren't just a collection of targeted keywords anymore. You are a verified, trusted entity permanently mapped into its knowledge graph.
And the convergence of this structured data with genuine, off-site community trust is the most impactful strategy a brand can execute right now.
Let's pull all of this together. If you were operating a business, publishing content, or trying to maintain visibility on the web as of August 7, 2026, the entire paradigm has shifted.
You cannot chase the 10 blue links.
You must optimize for AI citations through Generative Engine Optimization, ensuring you provide succinct data and utilize tools like LMMs.txt.
You must also recognize the fragmentation. You have to track your visibility across Google, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude.
Utilizing that new wave of AI command centers to understand your actual mind share.
And to survive the sheer speed of this environment, you will likely need to lean on semi-autonomous agentic SEO tools to execute the micro-adjustments.
But underneath the software, the automation, and the code, your foundation must be anchored in undeniable EEAT.
You have to be an authentic brand engaging in real human communities and use structured entity mapping to translate that hard-earned human trust into a language the machines can read.
It is a wild, incredibly fast-moving time to be building on the internet. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the August 7, 2026 SEO landscape.
It's been great exploring this.
But before you step back into that landscape, we want to leave you with one final lingering thought to mull over. We just spent a lot of time discussing how AI models heavily reward authentic human community engagement places like Reddit and LinkedIn to verify your EEAT.
The models actively look for those messy, unscripted human interactions as the ultimate signal of trust because they are historically too difficult to fake.
But as these agentic AI tools become even more autonomous, sophisticated, and capable of conversational nuance, what happens when they start successfully faking that community engagement at scale?
That is the big question.
When autonomous bots are deploying perfectly reasoned, highly nuanced thought leadership comments across Reddit and LinkedIn to artificially inflate a brand's EET, will the very concept of trust break down entirely on the web, or will we have to invent a completely new physical way to prove to the machines that we are actually human?